Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all fine. In last lesson, we learnt about mongoose, Rikki Tikki Tavi. In third lesson, we are going to learn about horse's autobiography. Do you see horse? Do you like horse? Yes, all are like horses. Horses are used for carrying things or pulling carts or to help plow farmers' fields in agriculture. People have used selective breeding to make bigger horses to do heavy work. Let's get into today's class. Now see the warm-up questions in the lesson. Read the hints in the box and complete the following. Relating to horses, equine. Relating to lions, leonine. Relating to cats, feline. Relating to dogs, canine. Relating to foxes, vulpine. Now see the hints of Black Beauty. Black Beauty is an autobiography of a horse who narrates adventures and incidents of his life. You know what is the meaning for autobiography? Autobiography means the story of a person's life written by his own. It was written by an English writer called Anna Sewell in the year 1877. Black Beauty is a handsome horse with a shiny black coat, a white hoof, and a white star on his forehead. Let us read how Black Beauty gets its name from the horse's own mouth. It was early in May when a man from Square Gardens came to take me away to the hall. Square Gardens Park was around the edge of the village of Brightwick. You could enter through a large iron gate and then a smooth road lead to the house and the gardens. Beyond this lay the home paddock, the old orchard and the stables. You see here paddock. Paddock means enclosed field for grazing or training horses. Stable means a building where horses are kept. Okay. There was accommodation for many horses and carriages, but I will only describe the stable into which I was taken. The stable was very roomy with four good stalls. Stalls means compartment. A large swinging window opened into the yard, making it pleasant and airy. The first stall was a large square one, shut in behind with a wooden gate. There was a low rack for hay and a low manger for corn. It was called a loose box because the horse that was put into it was not tied up but left loose to do as he liked. My groom put me in this fine box, and as the sides were not very high, I could see all that went on through the iron rails at the top. He gave me some very nice oats, patted me, spoke kindly, and then went away. In this paragraph, groom means a person who looks after horses. What is the meaning for groom? A person who looks after horses. When I had eaten my corn, I looked around. In the stable next to mine stood a little fat grey pony with a thick mane and a tail and a very pretty head. I put my head up at the top of my box and said, "How do you do? What is your name?" He turned around as far as his halter would allow and said, "My name is Merrylegs. I am very handsome. I carry the young ladies on my back and sometimes I take our mistress out in the low chair. They think a great deal of me and so does James. Are you going to live next door to me in the box?" I say yes. In this paragraph, halter means rope or strap with a noose for leading horses. Just then, a tall chestnut mare with a long, handsome neck looked over from the stile beyond. She appeared rather ill tempered and said, "So, it is you have turned me out of my box. It's a very strange thing for a colt like you to come and turn a lady out of her own home." "I beg your pardon," I said. "I have turned no one out. The man who brought me put me here, and I had nothing to do with it. And I have turned 4 years old, and I am grown up horse. I have never quarrelled with a horse or mare so far, and I wish to live in peace." In the afternoon, when she went out, Mary Lex told me all about it. Ginger has a bad habit of biting and snapping, which is why they call her by that name. When she was in the loose box, she used to snap very much. Here, snap means bite. I told him, "I never bit anything but grass, hay, and corn. I can't understand what pleasure Ginger finds in biting others. She says no one was ever kind to her. And why should she not bite?" said Merrylegs. "I'm sure if all that Ginger says is true, she must have been ill used before she came here. John and James do all that they can do, please her. And our master never uses a whip if a horse acts right. So I think Ginger might change too," he said with a wise look. "I am 12 years old. I know a great deal and I can't tell you there is no better place for a horse all around the country than this." The name of our master's coachman was John Manley. The next morning, he took me into the yard and gave me a good grooming. The squire came in to look at me and said, "John, take him around the highwood by the watermain and the river that will show his paces." After breakfast, John came and fitted me with a bridle. Here, bridle means headgear used to control a horse. He was very particular in letting out and taking in the straps to fit my head comfortably. Then they brought a saddle, but as it was not broad enough for my back, he got another which fitted nicely. He rode me slowly first, then a trot, then a canter. Here, canter means an easy gait of a horse. And when we were on the road, he gave me a light touch with his whip and we galloped. As we came back through the park, we met the squire and Mrs. Gordon walking. The squire asked, "Well, John, how does he go?" "First rate, sir," answered John. "He is as swift as a deer and has a fine spirit too." Down at the end of the common, we met one of those travelling carts hung all over with baskets, rugs, and such things. Many horses will not pass those carts quietly, but he just took a good look at it and then went on. They were shouting rabbits near the highwood, and a gun went off close by. He pulled up a little and looked, but did not step to the right or left. I just held the rein steady and did not hurry him. I think he has not been ill treated while he was young. "I will try him myself tomorrow," the squire said. The next day, I was brought up for my master. I remembered my mother's counsel and my good old masters, and I tried to do exactly what they wanted me to do. Here, counsel means advice or guidance. I found he was a very good rider and thoughtful for his horse too. When he came home, the lady was at the hall door as he rode up. Here, thoughtful means considerate. "Well, my dear, how do you like him?" she said. "He is exactly what John said," he replied. "What shall we call him?" Would you like Ebony? He is as black as Ebony, she said. No, not Ebony. Will you call him Blackbird, like your uncle's old horse? No, he is far more handsome than Old Bat ever was. Yes, he is really quite a beauty. He has such a sweet, good tempered face and such an intelligent eye. What do you say to calling him Black Beauty? Black Beauty, why? Yes, I think that is a very good name. If you like it, shall be his name? And so it was. That's all the lesson. You read once again in your home, students. We will see the next class.